I'm jumping up and down. I'm bouncing up and down with a fresh breeze and the glistering sun on my face. I'm young. I'm on a trampoline. Everything around me is my backyard. A yard, which is a forest. A forest which merges into yellow dunes with long, spiky grass. And when you stand on the highest dune, you are met by the tough wind and freezing North Sea. My mother and father led me through the tall forests and dunes to meet the expanse of water. On this journey, which smelt of pine, they would converse about the court cases my mother was involved with. She tried to protect anything living and growing around us. My mom studied corporate law and became disillusioned by the repetitive nature of the work. So she moved into environmental law, a topic that clearly held her passion. The tall, mature trees reflected her passion as we continued through the forest. When forest made way for bushes and spiky patches of grass on the continuously growing dunes, my father held the conversation. He talked about many projects, some involving small companies, but honestly, I didn't know what he was saying. My dad is a money man in that he studied finance and economics. To do this line of work, my dad traveled. He traveled the world. For every month that passed, my dad would spend half of it on the other side of the planet in a place called Indonesia. Faraway places meant only words in the calming confines of my backyard, until a warm, sunny afternoon when my family decided to move to Bali. I was 12 years old at the time, and I missed not having my father around at home. You have to grow up quite quickly when a parent is absent. But beneath the Balinese matahari, our family was reunited. With the passing of time in Bali, I found myself smelling a smell I have never smelled before. Along with the smell of frangipani and hibiscus, there was a nasty, molten, dirty, toxic fume, which I sensed lingering around me on a daily basis. Then, the bitter realization came to me. This fume is the byproduct of living in a place like Bali. Burning plastic is the norm, and there simply seems no way around it. In fact, for my Quest project, I addressed the topic of cleaner energy, since it was already a worry of mine at the time. With the 33,000 truckloads of dumped plastic waste from Bali every year, the island of Bali has its initiatives, action takers, and communities. Great work is being done by Sungai Watch, Plastic Exchange, and Bye Bye Plastic Bags, to name but a few. They work in the realms of awareness and waste collection and are the pioneers of a well-maintained waste infrastructure. Now, a team and I are building a maintained recycling system in Sibangkaja. This system is based around a pyrolysis machine. This machine processes non-recyclable plastics to its original building block, oil. It produces 500 liters of fuel for every ton of plastic. In my mind, waste infrastructure is a circle. The circle starts at awareness, followed by collection, separation, and transformation. In Bali, this circle has some strong aspects. Awareness and collection are examples of this, but other parts are missing, leaving the circle unconnected. I mean, most of us have often smelt the burnt plastic fumes, a simple proof of the circle not being complete. Ideas of finishing this circle took over my thoughts. This was good, but then Jesse Driver, a green school teacher, asked me to join Sibang Waste to Value. This is a project parallel to my thoughts, which not only clarified my ideas of the waste journey in Indonesia, but gave me the opportunity to work together with an amazing team of diverse and motivated people wanting the same as me. This team comprised of Jesse Driver, Pak Gunde, Scott Braithwaite, and Ayu from Green School, Andrew Sinclair and his geotrash management team, and Nyoman Madia, the Sibang Waste site owner. Together, we take non-recyclable plastics and turn them into diesel fuel. This is done through a plastic pyrolysis machine. This machine takes many types of plastics and turns 1,000 kilos of it into 500 liters of fuel in a day. This will soon be done in the local community of Sibankaja. There, we work to complete a circular waste system. Also, it's used to show the immense potential this project has. Aside from this, Sibang Waste to Value empowers education, economy, and sustainability as its core values. We want to provide education which allows us to showcase active solutions to the international and local classroom. Economy is empowered through localizing a circular economy. Giving plastics value provides real jobs and revenues for a small community like Sibankaja. The sustainability part is how we create and reinforce a circle for a formalized waste industry. From start to finish, giving these non-recyclable plastics value and taking them out of oceans, rivers, landfills, and everything in between. From a young age, I have known how and where my trash went. As a child, I was taught to separate my organics, plastics, metals, paper, and other waste into separate bins. Often, I would watch all the different garbage trucks come by. They would move in and out with the help of robotic arms and camera detection. The system seemed effortless and efficient, just like the rest of the Netherlands. This was such a normal thing that I was in disbelief to see that a place like Bali has an ineffective waste management system. My very first experience of waste treatment was at the age of 10. My best friend Tom and I would be in continuous disagreements over things. The best example that I can remember was when I discovered Christianity and he read a book called The Creation of Nearly Everything. I wanted to convince him of the 7 days of creation, while Tom preached about the Big Bang. This might have led to the occasional disagreement, but as 10-year-olds do, we came to the educated decision that the Big Bang seemed legit. Through Tom's sense of realism, he wanted me to see his world. Being taken to a waste-to-energy plant was one of these missions. Tom's mother worked at one of the biggest waste-to-energy plants in the Netherlands. This place was immense. The ovens turned hundreds of truckloads of waste into usable energy every day. That experience gave me a pretty good insight of what happens to the rest of my waste. This created my very first thought process of what happens to rubbish after we put it in the bin. At the time, I simply thought that when I throw any of my rubbish in the rubbish bins, it gets burned so that I could watch TV. Now, in Bali, this is rather different. Until 20 years ago, almost all the waste was organic. As plastics arrived from the West, the education around its management was left behind, which leaves me with the smell of burning plastic and carpets of it on the beach. Tackling such a problem would have completely stressed me out if I started to face this alone. The team behind this project gave me the drive, each of us providing solutions to face such a gigantic problem. I taking on the responsibility of crowdfunding and media development. However, the collective achievement really drove me when I saw progressive action, feeling the wheels turn and change unfolding in front of me. Examples of this are the import license arriving after 18 months, images of the machine being put together, involvement with the local community, and finance issues being solved. Finding progressive action in the plastic problem is very rewarding. Together with the team of community members, we all strive for the project to grow into a revolution, a game changer for waste management. Formalizing industries and, most importantly, changing our mindset about plastic. Which brings me back to the circle. With a full loop accomplished, the circle starts over at awareness, which in our case is a progressive and sustainable mindset around plastic. I raised and managed a crowdfunding initiative for Pak Nyoman. 15,000 euros was collected to renovate his trash collection center in Sibankaja. Thanks to many of you. And for those of you who haven't yet, the crowdfunding is still up and running. This site will provide the perfect environment for this plastic pyrolysis machine. Pak Nyoman collects trash from his local village, which comes out to about 500 kilos of plastic waste every day. Since this doesn't fill the machine to the brim, we have the unique opportunity to support one of Bali's plastic pioneer initiatives. Even bang bang wrappers and styrofoam are turned into usable oil over a single day of the pyrolysis process. While this happens, we sit back and watch the plastic get heated and turned into 4 final products. The first and largest being the oil, which is about 500 liters for the truckload going into the machine. The second product is a hydrogen gas, which is captured in the airtight chamber where the plastic is transformed. This gas is then used to reheat the pyrolysis reactor for its next batch. This makes it all very independent and great for a place like Bali. The last 2 products are a wax-like substance and carbon black. The quantity of this depends on the biomass and plastic type. This substance can be recycled into asphalt, bricks, tires, and much more. And thereby, we close the circle, which was my intent in the first place when addressing this problem and trying to find the active ingredient to connect the circle. Thinking back to where I started in this project, the pleasing chance of this all happening is what kept me going. Through all the bumps, stagnation, and pandemics, our process was forward. Not at all times were we in the 5th gear, but never did we put it in reverse. And as our progression became licenses, financiers, and the actual machine being built, I am now thrilled to say that there soon will be a machine just down the road from Green School, turning plastic into value. The growth potential of this project is a dream of mine waiting to happen. With these machines across the Indonesian archipelago, we can have islands thrive on waste. Jumping up and down now, not because I'm jumping on a trampoline, but because I'm utterly delighted to be able to say that something that started as a vision when I watched Nick Kars standing in this very spot 3 years ago. Nick's Greenstone was the inspiration to what I have managed to achieve with an incredible team of advisors, funders, entrepreneurs, and students. This tangent has taught me business planning, jurisdiction, supply and demand, finance, marketing skills, values, and business collaboration. And I believe that if I were to hear the conversation that my father was having with my mother now, the one I did not understand then, I am certain that I would comprehend it, its meaning, and him. I would like to thank and congratulate Nyomani Madhya, Andrew Sinclair, Katarina Persson, Jesse Driver, Luke Day, Cherry Sanders, Scott Braithwaite, and Liz Azario. Thank you, and I am now handing this project over to Ayu Susiati. I have only 6 days left on this island and would like to wish Ayu from 11th grade all the best with the continuation of Sibang Waste to Value. Thank you. Thank you guys.